Hey guys, welcome back. This is the final best of 3 of our afternoon session of Code A today. It's Trap versus Vampire, Protoss versus Protoss.
Indeed it is, and we are heading into the first game right away. The players are ready to get things started here. Last round of our afternoon matches, and the first map is going to be Abyssal City. We already had 1 PvP on this map earlier, but let's just jump right into this game.
Yep, not wasting any time.
Starting to the right side of the map, we have for STX Seoul, Admiral Akbar. It's a trap.
That was really well done.
There we have him. His opponent to the left side of the map. Good friend of Buffy. Can we call him Buffy?
We can.
Okay. It is Buffy.
He certainly was the Vampire Slayer when he played against Suo Shin.
He slayed himself.
Oh, I wish I thought of that during the time, man. That would have been sick.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Just, you know, call him Buffy because he really killed himself here.
He kills vampires. No, I mean, we always talk about this series, guys, and it's the one series that he seriously hopes we are going to forget soon, but it's not going to happen.
No, we'll never forget, man. I don't care if suddenly you and I cast in the future, like in 2014, some Code S files were like, wow, Vampire really made it, but remember that one time.
Yeah. You know, it's always so funny because there are always games where you should win, and you have the game on a silver platter, and you just screw up so bad. And sometimes it's with such obvious mistakes that you later look at the game and you look at the replay and you're like, how did I lose this? I still remember when I had a couple of games, like nearly 2 years ago now. Zelnaga Caverns was in the map pool, and I still remember when I played a Protoss player and he tried to DT rush me. And I scouted everything, I saw it, I prepared, I had a couple of spine crawlers there, I had overseers, I had my Zerglings ready. Back then you nearly built like roaches, very rare or very late against Protoss. And everything was fine, so I'm like, okay, how am I gonna kill him now? And I'm like, no, I'm fine, I got the Mutalists and everything. And suddenly this guy just morphs a few Archons, and I completely forgot that he can actually move Archons with DTs. So I stand there with a couple of Mutalists, like 4 of them, have my Zerglings ready, and look at it, and I'm like, and lost the game. It was 100% win. Yeah. And that was how Vampire must have felt when he lost to Suo Shin in these games. Everything was going well for him. He had the game won already, and then, well, I don't know. He just had a brain fart.
Yeah, he started thinking, well, I gotta keep that Overlord out of my base. Did not work.
Yeah, no, they didn't. Well, but right now we have, of course, Vampire up against a different opponent, and as much fun as we sometimes make of his series against Suo Shin, this guy is still a strong opponent to face.
I mean, he made it all the way to the finals of that series. It was Suo Shin who went to the Code S instead of him.
Exactly, so Vampire was very short of getting into Code S at this point. And, well, currently we see him in the second round of Code A, so he will at least get into the up and downs again. And right now we have the first tech choice here. It's going to be for Vampire. He wants to go into robotics. Yep. He's actually accompanied here in the studio by Killer, the captain of the team. Killer really has a huge impact on Team MVP, apparently.
Yeah.
And that's something that the coach is never tired to point out. And it must be true. I mean, with him in the lineup, they did so well in GSL, even though they were not able to claim the title. But still,
there was a clear improvement after he joined.
Team spirit just seemed to have improved a lot.
Now, the differences in builders that we have here are Nexus before Robo, for Trap, and it looks like we're going to have a 4-gate Warp Prism play for Vampire, because he's adding 3 gateways behind his Warp Prism.
Yep.
He tried to see the expansion. I don't know if he was able to actually get in there. No. He was denied by those sentries, so he doesn't know about the Nexus, but based on what he's seen, he can assume this forward pylon that we're going to see is actually going to be for a warp-in point, so you can warp in units, pick them up into the shuttle, then drop them into the main base, put into phase mode, and then
use the second warp-in round.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we have the Warp Prism already nearly completed. Same is true for the Warp Gate research.
Barely missed the pylon with that probe to the south.
Will the probe see the Warp Prism? No.
It doesn't look like it. He's very unlucky here. 2 times in a row, he just barely missed.
For Trap, this is actually now the worst case scenario. How many gates does he have? Only 1, completing the second.
Now, is he going to wait for the second round of Warpins? Hardly anyone is doing this right now, and I think that if he waited for the second round of Warpins, it could be deadly. Uh-oh, but Vampire, he's going to be scouted if Trap tries to walk up the ramp.
Trap, no. There we go in the main base, and yeah, he just drops them. Drops them one by one, and is there another round of warp-ins? Yes, of course, with the 4-gate that he has, he's trying to do the damage right now. Zealots everywhere, trying to take apart as many probes as possible. Good force fields here, trapping the Zealots immediately between the force fields.
Yeah, but the damage here is definitely done as far as probes go, but with 2 Nexi out, he can replenish those pretty quickly. He's also got a sick amount of tech.
Exactly, 13 SCVs on the other hand against 24, so Vampire definitely having a huge lead here. That's the problem that Trap is facing now. He has to catch up somehow.
Vampire just needs to make a Nexus and start his Immortal production. He should be able to even things out a little bit.
The Immortal production has been started, but for Vampire he needs another base. Trap is now in this weird position where you think, okay, well I have a little bit more army supply than he. I'm actually just going to attack him, really be ready, because trying to get my economy up again, having half the harvesters, is that going to work?
Well, his Immortal has taken some shields already off. Oh, a nice block there. Wow.
Well done. But the Sentry is smart by Trap, trying to trap the units on the low ground.
Yeah, certainly.
No pun intended.
Uh-oh, he actually could trap everything here. Uh-oh.
He needs to go up that ramp.
Yeah, I don't think he even realizes the great position he's in right now. Okay, now he does, except he misses his force field. Target down the Immortal, he does. The Immortal falls so fast. And as long as he targets that Immortal on Stalkers, which he's not doing at all.
Another Immortal on the high ground for Vampire, and Vampire is actually able to do a lot of damage here, a lot better than he should.
Yeah, but I feel like if Trap had targeted that Immortal, he might have just won the entire game. He watched his Immortal die without shooting those Stalkers, which did so much extra damage.
Vampire sends a few Zealots over to the expansion of Trap, and that's a big problem for the SDX Soul Protoss. He's going to lose more Harvesters. That's something he cannot afford.
Yeah.
In the main base, there they are.
Yep, this is a big problem. And now suddenly I feel it's going to be Trap who's on the defensive, because he's going to lose so many probes here. Now Vampire's the better army. He still has that forward pylon. And, you know, the Warp Prism from earlier did die, but...
Could you double check the Harvester count for me? 21 to 25, so
yeah,
Trap actually...
Vampire still ahead. Despite the double Nexus.
On a decent amount here. But there are just too many Zealots already.
There's too many units. He's just not going to be able to hold the army since he lost his entire army trying to go for that attack.
Ah, nice. He's trying to cut him off at the front. But isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to. It's not quite going to work out, though. He doesn't have enough sentries, and I think this is actually going to be Trap dying here.
Yeah, he can't block. There are no sentries left. The last sentry just died, and with 31 supply against 52, that's not going to work. The army supply is so much better. The unit counting station, what are you going to do with 2 Stalkers?
Try to micro your heart out, but it's not going to work. The probes die here, and GG.
GG. Game 1 goes to Vampire.
A nice 4-gate Warp Prism, and he was a little bit vulnerable afterwards because he lost all of his army units. But then because of his defense and because of, I feel, Trap's micro mistakes, he was not able to capitalize on the counterattack. Then Vampire was like, well, you didn't make probes and you lost all your units, so even though this map is big, I've already got my forward warp in ready, and I'm going to kill you.
And that's what happened. So game 1 goes to Vampire, takes an early lead. The second game will be hosted, and the map is going to be Cloud Kingdom. Cloud Kingdom. I love this map for PvP.
Yeah, this map is pretty cool. I really like it.
Love to see Blinkstalker play, and on Cloud Kingdom and Antica Shipyard, you are kind of guaranteed to have at least one of those guys going for it.
My favorite is Blinkstalker versus someone who goes for the expand, trying to hold the Blinkstalker, and the battle that ensues with that. That's awesome.
What was that game that we saw? Was that Genius who played the Blinkstalker build and controlled that one observer that he had right into his opponent's arms?
Yeah.
And it died and he lost too much time. Was that Genius?
Yeah, it was Genius. I don't remember who was playing this. Maybe it was CJ Entis' hero or something like that. I feel like it was...
Or Creator, yeah. One of the two. That was WCS, yeah, WCS Korea qualifier.
Yeah.
Man, that was a long time ago.
A long time ago, man. Well, not that
Actually,
long,
it wasn't August, but in StarCraft, that's an eternity.
Yeah, 4 months, man, with all the games we got coming out. Cloud Kingdom is up and loaded now. We're going to jump right into it in our second Protoss versus Protoss of this series.
At the top right...